So you want to become a ninja master, Ryo Hayabusa? What's up guys, in this video we're going to be going over some advanced combat tips in the new Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, the re-release of Ninja Gaiden 2, pretty much Sigma 2, released in Unreal Engine 5. I put out some live streams, if you guys haven't seen those already. I did complete the game, so I got plenty of knowledge to teach you guys how to become a master ninja. Okay, so first things first that we want to take a look at is what does it take to become a master ninja in Ninja Gaiden 2 Black? And I'm here to tell you guys it's all about defense and timing, and of course the shitty camera angle in this game, because it's still your worst enemy, even from the original. So I'm going to be going over all of the weapon types, some advanced tips, Nimpo spells, what to use in all types of situations, especially in enemy types, which weapon is good for each enemy types and all that jazz, and just general combat knowledge, so that way you don't get tossed around like a ragdoll, especially in the higher difficulties of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. Now this one may seem kind of silly or simple, but I gotta tell you, it's a very simple but very effective rule, and that is blocking. I can't tell you guys enough, even in the lower or semi-harder difficulties, these enemies will punish you for not blocking. They will sneak up on you while you're doing a ultimate combo on one ninja, and then the other ninja behind you will come behind and grab you or do some kind of attack while you're doing a combo. And if you're not blocking, and even if you kind of just stand there and hold the block button, then it does you more good than harm, because if you're sitting there just constantly trying to get off combos, which is always satisfying because that's what this game is all about, but if you're trying to get off combos constantly, you are going to get punished and you're going to see your health bar go down a lot quicker than usual. Now another defensive strat that I want to teach you guys is parrying. So this is when you hold the block button and you hit one of the other attack buttons, such as X or Y or square and triangle, depending on what controller you're playing on, and you want to time it as soon as the enemy is about to hit you, so you can hold the block. Usually what I like to do is I like to create some distance between me and my target, and if I got one enemy constantly attacking me, I like to try to stay away from them, and then when they try to do their next attack, I punish them with a parry. Now, there's two different types of parries. You have a light attack and a heavy attack parry. So if you get off the light attack parry, which is usually the X button or square button on your controller, then you'll do like a light combo on the enemy, and if you do the triangle or Y button parry on them, then you'll usually end up launching them in the air or do some kind of heavy attack. So there's two different combo styles, or two different parry styles, I should say, when you get off those parries. Now let's switch it up to the offensive side of things. So one of the quick tips I want to show you guys when you're on the offensive is take a look at your techniques when you obtain new weapons or when you upgrade your weapons. And you upgrade your weapons at the Muramasa shop. It's usually about 10,000 for the first upgrade, and it's 20,000 for the next upgrade, which is usually your final upgrade. You do get two different upgrades later on in the game, but it's only for the Dragon Sword and the dual katanas. But that is just story based. But all the rest of the weapons, you can upgrade them twice, and then they get their own set of techniques. And these techniques are crucial because you can pull off really cool combos or really pretty long combos, especially when you get to the higher parts of the game. Enemies have more health or they don't get dismembered as easily. So when you pull off the longer, harder to remember combos, then you'll have a much more fluid combat experience, especially with like a level 3 weapon. And since we're talking about the weapons, which brings me to my next point, is which weapons works best with each type of enemy. And I'm here to tell you guys that you can pretty much clear this game with any of the weapons in the game. You can pick up all the weapons and you could just pick one weapon and clear the game with it. But I will say there is some advantages when it comes to certain weapons. Now, with the Spider Clan ninjas, you can pretty much clear these guys out with any of the weapons in the game. Any of the weapons that you pick up, these guys are a piece of cake once you start learning their combos and their timings. Now, when it comes to the bigger enemies like the demons or the lichens, then I will say the scythe and or the lunar staff are the best weapons to take these guys out, especially because it can knock their limbs off pretty easily, and they can hit more, and the lunar staff does more health damage to the bigger guys. Now, when it comes to bosses, I gotta say it's pretty much the same rule for each and every boss in the game, and it's all about patience and blocking. And you're gonna try to get sucked into the habit of trying to spam combos and try to overwhelm them with attacks. But bosses are different, obviously, because they are bosses, so they're going to attack through your attacks, and they will punish you if you are trying to overwhelm them or if you have no defense whatsoever. So the biggest takeaway here is to try and dodge and or block. So with the dodging mechanic, basically what you do is you move your left stick and then you hold the block button, and whatever direction that you're going, you'll do like a dash attack. And this is a great maneuver to dodge away from enemy attacks, especially when you see them wind up or if they're going to try and grab you, because you can't block a grab because the bosses in here can grab you as well. And if you dodge away to the side, then you will not get grabbed. So as you see here, he tries to grab me, and then I go and move off to the side. So I'm putting this in a slow motion to kind of show you guys what I'm doing here. I'm moving off to the side. He's trying to attack. I'm dodging. He's not hitting me. And then once he stops, then I go in for the attack. So the next thing I want to talk about is the Ninpo spells. You have the Art of Inferno, the Art of Windblades, the Art of the Void, and then you have the Art of the Flame Phoenix. These are the 4 Ninpos that you get in the game. You can upgrade them all to level 3. You have to have the Demon Jewel Seal. And I will say probably one of my favorites is the Phoenix one because they surround you. Now, I will say once you get hit though, these guys will fly away, but you can have these guys continuously circle you and they'll just damage nearby enemies. So if you got an enemy sneaking up behind you, then you got 4 phoenixes just swirling around you and they'll just constantly get hit and stunned, especially when you're doing combos and stuff like that. Art of the Piercing Void. This works well for doing like a big single target AoE attack. So it shoots a ball right in front of you wherever you aim. So if you can line up enemies, then this Piercing Void can just shoot through all of them. Then next up we have the Art of the Windblades. This is one of my second favorites. So if you're getting overwhelmed, you can just pop this, and this will put wind blades all around you in a huge AoE, and it is also good for chopping limbs, so which is good for punishing your enemies. So when you have an enemy that is punished, then you can just hit Y and you'll do a finisher attack if they're missing a limb. So the Art of Wind Blades helps greatly with that. And then lastly, we have the Art of Inferno. This is one of the first Ninpo spells that you'll get in the game. So basically what this does is just a basic fireball. It just like auto locks to an enemy, and then it'll just summon down fireballs. At level 3, I think you get 2 or 3 fireballs that you can lock on to enemies. So it's like an auto lock on fireball. Pretty basic, but I would say the Flame Phoenix and or the Wind Blades are probably the 2 better ones. Now the last tip that I want to share with you guys is the ultimate technique and when to pop it. Now basically what the ultimate technique is you will hold down the Y button and or triangle and you'll do a charge up. Now the quickest way to get this off is when you have orbs just laying around after eliminating some enemies, then you can absorb those orbs to increase your level of your ultimate technique. You'll have 2 levels of ultimate technique. You'll have a blue and then you'll have a red aura as shown here. And essentially what you want to do is when you take out a couple enemies, and if you're getting surrounded, especially in certain areas of the game, you'll just have tons of enemies surrounding you. Take out a few enemies, and then as soon as you get some orbs that pop up, then do a quick charge, have the orbs absorb your ultimate technique, and then just unleash your ultimate technique on a huge group of enemies. And then you can move your left stick while you're doing it to change direction. That way you can target multiple enemies during your ultimate technique. And that essentially wraps up this advanced combat tips guide for Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel as we got more gaming content coming your way. And of course, if you have any other combat tips that I might have missed, and that way we can grow as a gaming community, make sure to drop them down in the comments below. I would love to see what other tips that you want to share with us. And also, make sure to check out the links in the description below if you want to become a member of the channel and or join our Discord, where we talk about all kinds of games and we share other games as a community. Would love to see you join the Lost Daze Gaming family. But that's going to be it from me, guys. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Deuces.